Sound speed.
Nice. You're getting the hang of this.
Hey, bitches.
Whoa, too loud? Sorry. Try that again.
I'm not going to speak that loud, actually, so I'm probably going to speak quietly, so just don't even include that.
We'll try that again. Just
hey,
do that again.
I'm not doing it again.
Just try it one more time.
I don't want to.
Because naturally we're going to talk louder.
I'm hot.
Okay. Welcome, guys. Should I start now? Should I be starting as you're doing this? Wear the blanket. Okay, I'm going to raise you now.
Hello.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to apologize in advance for this podcast because I know that this is a audio-visual experience for you all, and I'm usually the hot one that you look at.
Oh.
And our cat is being a brat right now. But anyway, the point is that I'm ill.
Right.
And it is my... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start over. That was a bad intro. My boobs look huge. Can you lead this?
Can I lead this? Okay. Hi. Welcome to the Little Guy, Big Girl podcast, episode 10.
Wow, this is our 10th episode?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm bringing to the table?
It's okay. This is a lot. This is a lot more than you know.
You know what, you guys? I was going to get my nails done for you because they're a little crusty right now. I ripped one of them off because I just wanted to see if I could. And I am not wearing any makeup. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. I just want to be clear that I am ill and I look like a pale slob.
Where'd you get it from?
My sister. So actually, I do have a story about that.
Oh.
So as you guys know, I have been traveling back and forth from San Francisco for the entire month of June, and I will continue to do so until the month ends. And I'm not trying to be negative here because we all know that I'm working on that. And I do love being home. Like, I genuinely love it.
Right.
It's just really hard to come back. Like, it kills me every time, the traveling. So I went back for Nascar weekend, which is a thing that my family does every year. And
how'd that go? Because we tried to do a thing where we wouldn't talk until we did the podcast, but then we got home late, so then we just talked anyway, and here we are. But I don't really know how that was for you, so...
A lot happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Not like that much, but I'm excited to fill you in.
Whoa. But anyway,
I want to talk about, the weekend.
Her sickness is the reason why we've swapped seats.
Yeah,
we wouldn't do this otherwise. Jesus, Donna.
I need to give my cat a tranquilizer.
That was her self-timing feeder. Anyway, NASCAR weekend.
So NASCAR weekend, I don't know why it just brings up a lot for me. I know that it shouldn't, but when I was a kid, I was like really into NASCAR. I think because it connected me to like my god sister, who was a very cool kid in school, and I really wanted that, and it also connected me to my dad, and my family friends who we go with every year. Like, they were the cool kids in school, right? The Irish Catholic cool kids. And so I feel like I was really always excited about that bond that we shared, because it was more special than all the other kids, you know? Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. I feel like I have a fever.
You do have a fever.
I do have a fever. But I would even like make, you know, when you pass out like Valentine's Day cards to the kids in your class and you put like a little candy on them? Do you guys do that?
Yes.
And you have like a shoebox and I would bring like NASCAR themed Valentine's Day cards, because I thought like, also, I know this seems a little counterintuitive, but like the cool girls at my school were always tomboys.
Interesting.
And they were
at what age?
I'd say kindergarten through 8th grade.
Kindergarten through like 4th or 5th makes sense. 8th is a little old. Yeah.
Well, they stayed at the top. Because I felt like...
Was this a K through 8?
This is a K through 8.
Okay.
I feel like the hierarchy was like also all the families who knew each other, right?
Right. They kept the status.
Right. And it was usually the girls who played sports or who were tight with the guys.
True.
Right? And I was, as I say, I was Pavlovian ladded.
True. You totally were.
And I was too desperate to be a
Frick.
cool tomboy.
Sush. Just buzzing him up.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll drop it off.
Did you end up getting a shrimp crunch roll or no?
I just got you the avocado roll.
Right.
'Cause that's
Right.
what you told me to.
Right. Anyway, I'm fine with that, honestly. I feel nauseous.
Yeah. You should eat light.
I feel way worse than I did last night.
That makes sense. I mean, second day, that makes sense.
But anyway, you know that I hate when you go on your phone when we podcast.
I'm sorry. It was mostly just to make sure the sushi was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also got a text from the guy who rents the Black Magic from us.
Why?
He wants to rent it the whole weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah. It's broken.
Well, shit.
I know. That sucks. Such good money. Anyway, not important.
Well, why can't you get it
just
fixed?
producer stuff.
We have to get it fixed
For
anyway.
Not by this weekend. I can't get
Well,
it
maybe
fixed.
you can try. You should have been on that anyway.
Oh. Anyway, continue. NASCAR, you as a
I
kid?
don't even care anymore.
No. This is an important story. I've actually been looking forward to this.
No, I've always had like a complicated relationship to NASCAR because it's also a very conservative sport.
Yes.
And
Don't you have a photo with Guy Fieri?
I do. He's not conservative, is he?
I mean, I wouldn't be
I don't
shocked.
think he's like outspokenly conservative, but I think conservative people like him because he eats barbecue.
He definitely dabbles.
Well, let me just say, as we know, like I have aspects of me that give off conservative bro energy.
Oh, like what?
I don't know, like I go to the gym.
Yeah, your feed, perhaps.
Which I haven't in the last month, so. And like my father.
Sure.
And like the fact that I go to NASCAR every year.
Right.
And I don't know. Just some things that give off the energy that I'm not trying to. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I would always try to be a bro at school because I felt like that would make me fit in. But I am like so. I'm so incapable of that. I'm so incapable. Like,
that
I was such
sense.
a girly girl.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I cared how I looked all the time. Now I don't. I wish I had more of that in me now. It's probably gone. But anyway, the point is that NASCAR, I was so like trying to fit into that NASCAR life when I was younger.
NASCAR.
Because it gave
Who's
me
your favorite driver?
Tony Stewart.
No idea who that is.
Of course you don't.
Anyway, continue.
Tony Stewart was me and my godsister's favorite driver. We had a handshake that actually, it was so stupid. It like spelled out O-N-E Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stewart.
I have no idea how that would work, but
We'd like do every syllable with every hand.
Got it.
The point is that we were like NASCAR girls and made us like cool. And then when I got older, I started to feel less like, oh, this is the NASCAR crowd that I fit in with. You know?
Sure.
Like I felt they have a very specific fan base, though I do think it's changing. Like I went this year and there was a lot more diversity. I will tell you that. On the amongst the fans. And amongst the racers.
Oh,
like
yeah?
It's like the thing like there was once a Colombian racer and my mom was obsessed with him. Mm-hmm. And she bought all of his merch. Mm-hmm. And you know, the years that he was there, my mom says she remembers a lot of Colombians showing up.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's a Mexican driver and a black driver.
Is that Bubba?
Bubba. And nice. There's a Hapa driver who my mom is obsessed with.
Half Asian?
He's half Asian. He's half Japanese.
Mm.
And so I feel like those demographics are coming out for their racers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like there were a lot of Mexican people there this year.
That's good.
And I feel like when the Colombian driver was there, like we were showing up for our people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he had a lot of anger issues, but I loved him too because, how
You got to keep the sport alive. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of passion I appreciate. Like there's a psycho tennis player right now. I'm forgetting what his name is. I think he's Greek. He's Greek-Australian. He's a nut job.
There's a ton of Greek Australians.
He's awesome. I don't even know his name. Anyway, continue. This past weekend.
So, yeah, I always do feel like there's like a bro-y kind of redneck energy to NASCAR, and there's no shame in that. Like, I feel like my dad and brother almost try to own the redneckness of it, which makes me a little like nervous sometimes. I don't know why. And then I feel bad for being nervous because it's my brother's favorite day of the year. Like he says, it is my day. You have to get up at 7. You have to be at the racetrack. And we spend the whole day there, like it's an event.
Right.
And it is nice because it is the time that we get together with his family and it feels like.
So what happened?
Well, okay, I'm going to start the weekend off by saying we wanted to see The Little Mermaid all weekend.
Okay.
Okay. And The Little Mermaid, the new Little Mermaid, okay? I highly recommend you watch it. It's so adorable. Everyone in that cast is phenomenal. And so Leela was sick the whole weekend, like super sick. But since I had been sick, if you remember in the last podcast, I was like, I probably gave it to her. I'll be fine. So like we went to Safeway and got those like, those fried chicken strips that they sell at Safeway? Get the fried chicken strips and the potato wedges because you will not regret it. It is so good. And so Leela, my godbrother, was over in Sonoma working on his truck with my dad and brother.
Right.
And so we didn't buy enough chicken strips for the whole family.
Oh, why?
Because I made the wrong, I said 1.5 pounds and it wasn't enough. And because
that's not a lot.
Because he was there, like, you know what I mean?
That's not a lot of chicken.
It's not. And it was kind of just like a snack to tie them over. But whatever. I love those chicken strips. It's like the only chicken that I eat. Like
that's maybe like 5 chicken strips.
It reminds me of like my childhood.
Max.
I know. It wasn't enough, but they're big. They're big chicken strips. Like a fucking half chicken in that chicken strip.
That's okay.
Quarter? I don't know what you want me to say. They're not tiny.
Sure.
Anyway. We get the chicken strips. And tell me if I'm talking too much because I don't want to take up your time.
No, you're my time. Jesus Christ. Well, I don't get paid for this. Okay, so yes, Safeway strips.
So Leela
Continue.
is eating her chicken strips, and I'm like,
okay.
Damn. And if you know my sister Leela, she doesn't really eat a lot of food.
But she's eating the chicken strips.
So she'll like have a bite of something and then be like, I'm done. But you're not allowed to eat it while she's eating it. She has to be finished, and then you can have her scraps like a dog.
Okay.
And so there was a chicken strip, and she had kind of bitten around it, and like all the crispy parts she had kind of bitten around, and there was just like a chunk of chicken strip on the plate. And I was like, frick, that looks like a good chicken strip.
So you had it.
And I'm like, and it had her bite marks all around it. I was like, I'm not going to
all around it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
She ate around the corners.
That's psychotic.
She is a psychotic eater. That's what I was trying to explain.
She should go to somewhere.
She should. She needs to.
Just a school.
Exactly. So I decide to eat the chicken strip. And I eat the whole thing. So her bacteria was probably on that chicken strip.
Yeah, definitely.
And next morning, we get up.
Nice. Sushi's outside the door.
Then go get it.
What? You keep going. Mm-hmm. It's just literally right outside the door.
Go.
Pause.
So the next morning, we wake up and we decide, we didn't get to go to the Little Mermaid last night because we were all too tired. And so we are going to go in the morning at 10:45 a.m. because my brother and dad had to go to the qualifying race, which is the day before the NASCAR race. And we go to the race. All right, I'm sorry. I'm not even speaking correctly because Aaron's distracting me with his sushi bag.
So you're at the race.
No. So we go at 10:45 to the Little Mermaid showing in Petaluma. And we get there and it's closed, the movie theater. It's not open. We won't be able to see the movie. And it's a long movie, so we can't go to a later showing. Otherwise, my dad and brother won't make the qualifying race on Saturday. So we decided to go to breakfast, and they didn't have a lot of vegetarian options, even though I'm not fully vegetarian. And so I was just kind of salty at breakfast.
Oh, no.
Whatever. And Leela...
How did that go?
It was fine. My dad was really worried about me. He's like, why aren't you eating? And I did eat. I just like... What'd you order? I ordered a waffle.
Okay.
I feel like I had a lot of like... I feel like I've been having a lot of like body issues on this particular time because I can't work out and because I haven't been cooking because I've been really, really dead.
Yeah.
And also I ripped my favorite pair of pants. I did. And it was like a rip in the butt. And it just... It like triggered me. I don't know why. And then I got in a fight with Andreas, and that was the whole thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I can tell you about that later. But anyway, we end up going to the movie.
Okay.
We go to the movie later in the afternoon, and Leela is feeling really, really sick at this point. And so we're driving in the movie, and it's in Napa this time. And she's like, I feel really sick. Like, she wakes up from a nap, and we're like, okay. And she's like, and my mom's like, or she says she's nauseous. And my mom's like, do you need to throw up? So trigger warning. I'm sorry if you're afraid of throw up, which I am. Like, don't listen to this next, like.
We're not showing it.
3 minutes. I know, but some people get.
3 minutes?
No. Some people get nervous from it. So anyway, we go to the place.
She throws
up. We pull over to a gas station. And I'm like, my mom and I are nervous laughing because I can't handle throw up. Like, I get really anxious. So I'm like, okay, bye. And Leela runs out of the car. My mom is like trying to take her time, trying to soothe Leela. Leela jumps out of the car, runs. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't look behind me. Like, I can't see this. Doesn't even make it to the gas station bathroom. She throws up in the trash can in front of the gas station. And
they're probably so used to that over there.
They walked out, and the guy was like, hey, like, you okay?
Probably sees that every fucking day.
And my mom was like, we're all right. And then Leela's like, she couldn't throw up anymore, but the color apparently like came back to her face, and she was okay.
Good.
And then, we proceeded to share popcorn at the movie.
Jesus Christ.
And candy. So that's definitely why I'm ill.
You guys, she continued to eat shit?
Well, she was feeling better, and my mom was like worried that she wasn't eating.
Maybe it was the chicken just didn't sit well.
She wasn't eating a lot. No, I think it was the pancakes she said from earlier the day. But it was because she had so much anything. She had so much mucus built up, and it just came.
God.
And so that was a lot.
Anyway, so now
But The Little Mermaid was wonderful, and we were all crying, and it was really about like a father letting his daughter be free, and that really got to me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm honestly a little happy. My dad really wanted to go to The Little Mermaid. Like, he really wanted to go.
Did he see it?
No, because he had to go to qualifying with Andreas.
Right. You're happy he didn't see it?
Well, I think seeing it with him would have like made me
nervous.
Yeah,
makes sense. Anyway, so
my dad actually was feeling very guilty that weekend because I flew out for them, and I didn't really spend a lot of time with him.
Sure.
And he got into a fight at the race. Yes. So there are 110.
Tell me now.
There are 110 laps in this race. Okay.
That's a lot of laps.
And so what I try to do is I try to sit for 25, walk around for 50, get food, come back for the last 25. Okay. I try to pace it that way because I can't sit and watch cars go around in circles. I'm not saying that that's not an excellent job and that doesn't take a lot of work.
Sure, it's really hard to do.
I can't even watch basketball. So there you go. So I go downstairs with my mom and sister, and like we're having a ball. Leela and I shared a soft serve.
You were fucked from the chicken tender. So you're out.
See, but I said that to my mom, and my mom's like, I eat her food all the time, and I'm not sick.
I have no idea how.
I don't know.
But
anyway,
you're just being in the room with her. You're done for. The way she coughs.
Yeah, the way she doesn't cover her mouth when she coughs.
And she picks like the spot that permeates the most in the room.
Yeah.
It's like if she's in the corner, it's like on a diagonal.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
so
we're eating our soft serves because we find soft serves. My mom is a sucker for soft serves. She loves them. And we get a text from Andreas, and it's like, please tell mom not to be mad. And we're like, what the heck? Be mad about what? And Andreas is like, I know mom's going to be mad about dad, but he did the right thing protecting those little kids. And I was like, what little kids? Like, what are you talking about? And so we call Greta, my brother, and he's like, Mom, like, please don't be mad. Like, it's all cool. And Leela was like, basically, I guess what had happened is that these older men, probably in their 50s, were like, this is what I've heard, okay? They were beating up on these kids, like 15-year-olds. And my dad stepped in.
What the fuck?
And tried to use his, none of it makes sense, tried to use his voice to calm everyone down. But they weren't calming down.
What did he say?
So there was a punch involved.
Whoa.
Apparently several.
From your dad?
From everyone. But
What?
the kids, I guess, gave Andreas a hug at the end. I don't know. So anyway, Leela's like, why would they tell us that unless they were like scratched up? Like, why would they tell us that? Like, they could have hidden that from us. And I'm like, well, they like to talk about fighting. They like to talk about the trouble they get into. So it probably was like a little.
They were unscathed.
A semi brag. They're probably not scuffed up. So we get back to the seats, and I see a giant Band-Aid across my dad's head.
Oh.
And like blood coming down from his head. He had gotten stitches from the fight.
What? Yes. Already?
Yes. And I've never seen my dad with his tail between his legs more in my life. He was so like...
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
And, everyone around him, because this is the kind of crowd that it is, was like...
Yeah.
They were like, your dad did the right thing to my mom, which...
Everyone's saying
which my mom was like...
Don't talk to me.
She was not... She
Don't
was like,
even
okay.
fucking look at me.
And she sits next to him, whatever... And
this is crazy. I can't believe you did good.
I know.
You did good not saying anything.
I wanted to see
there were no teasers even.
No.
God damn. Holy crap.
So there's like this couple of guys that comes and sits behind us at the race every year. They've been coming every year. And they are like your stereotypical NASCAR, little bit of an accent, like maybe Sonoma born and raised type of guys, right? Like, they just kind of have
gotta be careful with those boys.
And my dad and Uncle Joe, they love those guys. Like, they're, like, bringing it in, whatever. So, actually, I give my mom a look because, this is another story, there was this guy who we knew walking up the stairs, and he had a very young girlfriend. We want to say about 29. He was probably 48.
NASCAR's a big event. How do you know people here?
He was friends with my brother. He was the father of my brothers. I honestly feel kind of bad talking about this because the boys are so sweet.
I can't.
But it was a lot of tea that I got about this situation too. A lot. So
I don't think they'll be watching this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I can just say it. But
and even if they are, you're sweeties.
They're sweethearts. They're so sweet. They are adorable, and they're close friends with my brother. Okay. And he brought one of them last year.
Of course.
And they both one of them took my ticket last year. And they both ended up coming because Andreas's friend had spare tickets. And then their dad and his new girlfriend came. And
got it.
She was like, she looked a little young. Like, she was wearing like a bralette and a belly button piercing and like Daisy Dukes, Not to judge, but it just like, it was noticeable.
Not a great look.
So my mom, she had come up to me earlier in the day and been like, Dad said that blah, blah, blah's girlfriend was 29. And I was like, no. She's like, maybe she said 39. He probably said 39. He meant 39. And we see him walk up the stairs, and it's kind of obvious that she's not 39.
Yeah.
And I turned to my mom and I'm like I give her the eyes. And the guy who comes all the time sees me give my mom the eyes. And I feel a little tap on my shoulder. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around and he goes, your dad did good.
What?
Because he thought I was giving eyes about my dad.
You know this man who tapped you? You
I know him
recognize
because he comes to NASCAR every year, but I
That's
don't know him
crazy that
because we
you
have the same
guys-
seats every year.
Oh,
So
that's how it works?
Yeah, and they have the same seats every year.
That's like Boyhood, but for NASCAR.
Yes. And
that could be a Linklater movie.
I was like, apparently he did it to my mom too, and I was like, I think Aaron will like it when I tell him this piece of the story because
that's my favorite part.
It was tender and it was
beautiful.
well meant, but I could tell that it angered my mom so much more.
Absolutely.
Like it really sent her over the edge. And I was like, I gave the sweetest smile. I was like, thank you. I know.
He did the right thing. Did anyone else? Like, I'm
I
sure
mean,
someone took a video.
I don't want to see
I'm sure there's, what happened?
That's what I know happened. I know that there were some older guys, and I didn't want to ask details. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There were some older guys beating up 15-year-olds.
What the hell?
And my dad stepped in and got stitches from it.
Damn.
And so did my brother, but he didn't get stitches.
But he got involved.
He got involved.
He threw a few.
Apparently so.
Whoa. Thank God I wasn't there.
Thank God I wasn't there. Everyone was asking about you, by the way.
Thank God.
But I was like, thank God.
I would have been like, go get him.
It's just like, I feel like I'll never know the true story, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's for the best.
I don't want to.
No.
But my dad was so, like, he wanted to drive me to the airport when they were supposed to meet with our friends.
Really? I'm sure he felt really bad.
He just felt like he didn't get to spend the weekend with me, and then he got into a fight, and then I was mad at him. And I honestly wasn't mad at him. I was just like...
It's just a little awkward.
It was just awkward, and like... I could tell my mom was annoyed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And,
that's very fair.
You know?
To be, honestly, and this isn't a hate on the fan base of NASCAR, but, a little bit.
But I've never seen a fight like that before.
I don't know if I'd want to be dragged to NASCAR in the first place, right? Just going to put that out there.
Which is why I don't invite you.
Right, and that's fair. And you know what? Appreciate that. And then B...
But NASCAR's a good sport. I mean, I'm going to give it the credit it deserves.
No, of course. I'm not shitting on NASCAR. I'm saying if... And you guys were raised with it, so it's a family thing.
It's a tradition.
It's different. I'm not...
You're not a NASCAR aficionado. Aficionado.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
Aficionado. It would be like if I invited you to like a polo race. It would be like, what?
Oh, I would so go to a polo race. Are you kidding me? I love that bougie shit.
I suppose. Yeah,
Wear
you could
a
just
hat?
sit in the front and be like, who's...
I could find a rich husband.
Oh my God, yes. You could be like, put it on 10. 10 has been breeding really well this year. He's expected to win. His odds are fantastic.
Exactly. I'm sorry I'm laying down, you guys. I'm getting worse as
Missy
the podcast
Stallion.
continues.
You know that for horses, they have to milk them for their prize?
What the hell?
Yeah.
How do you even milk a horse? Does it have teats?
No, I'm talking... I milked in a literal sense, but on their...
On their what?
On their peen.
Like they have to piss them? They have to piss them out?
For sperm.
Is that a thing? Coming
Yes.
is referring to milking?
No, I made it up in this moment.
That was really bad.
Okay. Anyway, that's really not important to this story. Let's go back to your dad getting stitches. How many he was stitched? Who stitched him up? How long were you guys gone?
The guys at the race. We were gone for 50 laps.
Someone just had stitches in the...
The paramedic. I don't know.
Oh, they had paramedics
They
were brought in.
probably have doctors on site.
I'm sure.
It's
I'm sure they're
NASCAR. People crash
prepared.
all the time.
I'm sure they're prepared for something like that.
I mean, oh God.
Your dad probably got some street cred, though. I'm going to be real.
He did, but I could tell he was so sad.
Oh,
I felt bad for him. I did.
that's not a good feeling.
And I didn't want him to feel guilty. Like, I came out for the weekend. I know I wasn't going to be able to see him that much. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't want him to feel like we have to see each other every time I come out, it has to be like 24/7 with the family. Which I do. I spend a lot of time with my sister and my mom. And my sister and I got into a brutal fight in the beginning. It was so awful.
That was brutal.
Every time I go home, I get into a nasty fight with both of my siblings.
Nasty. What was the one with Andreas?
So it was kind of... I ripped my pants. My favorite pants, and they're really expensive.
Which ones?
The ones I wear all the time with the flared.
What?
Yeah. It was sucked. And I was already
You could
feeling.
probably fix them though.
I'm probably gonna buy new ones because I've had them since high school. It made sense that they ripped.
I don't know which ones then.
You do. They're like flared out.
Jeans?
They're tight.
Jeans?
They're light colored jeans. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Like the bell bottoms.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I was thinking about the Australian ones.
No.
I was like, whoa, those are tanks, I feel like. Anyway, continue. No. Sorry.
So I ripped them and I wear them for like all my auditions too. So I was just really upset. And they're the only jeans that like I feel like really fit me well. And so I was also dealing with a lot of body dysmorphia. I'm not going to lie. Like a lot of body issues because I just haven't been to the gym and I haven't been cooking for myself and I've just been traveling. So I've been just feeling disgusting lately. Mm-hmm. And I started like freaking out. Like I was like, oh my God, like I ripped my pants. Like I don't fit in my clothes anymore. Like I started freaking out. And Andreas was like, shut the fuck up. Like you need to like get over it. Just fucking get over it. Like you're skinny, you know? Mm-hmm. And like, that really just made me really upset because
he gets very sensitive about it.
He does.
Which is really funny. Because he knows it's going to upset you. He'd have to be an idiot. I
think he has his own things as well. And I think I'm not always aware of that.
That's fair.
I should be.
That's fair.
And I think he worries that it influences Leela. And I agree.
That's true.
It probably does.
That's true.
Instead of just saying, hey, Soph, like, let's talk about this, he screams at me.
Yeah.
A better
like,
way I was acting like a brat, but, like, I was also having, like, a meltdown, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, like...
Professionals know. Let it happen.
Exactly. So I don't even eat dinner that night. I just go to my room. And I hear, like, a tiny knock at the door. And, like, nothing happens. I pretend I'm asleep. And then I hear another tiny knock at the door. And Greta comes in and says, hey, Soph, I just want you to know that it makes me really sad when you talk about your body like that because you're beautiful. And...
oh, my God. That's beautiful.
And... I don't want you to hate yourself like that. I don't want you to see yourself like that. And so that's why I yelled, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you. And I was like, it's okay.
Did you hug? Please tell me there was a hug.
There was no hug. I was dead. I was dead tired. I should have hugged him, but I was asleep. And then, you know, my bedtime's 9 p.m. So especially if I have a meltdown, it's earlier.
Yeah. You're out at 6.
And my mom, like, I overhear them talking, and she's like, did you apologize? And my brother's like, yeah, but she wasn't talking that much, so I didn't want to, like, linger on it. And she was like, okay. And, of course, my mom the next day was like, you know, your brother apologized to you. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, my mom's the type that, like, smushes us together when we fight. Like,
you just gotta squash it out.
She wants us to hug it out. Like,
you guys gotta squash. That's healthy. That's good.
Yeah, it is healthy. My mom...
that was really nice of him to do that, too.
And, you know, it was just...
I didn't expect that twist. So we're getting a lot of...
I didn't expect the twist either.
It was great.
I didn't expect that
twist. So here for the ride, I was angry for you at first.
Yeah.
And then I understood his point of view. And I was like, wait, maybe he's thinking a little bit more. And then the redemption.
Yeah.
It was a full thing.
It was a full thing.
And that's beautiful.
And then at the end of the race...
brought me to tears.
At the end of the race, we did end up hugging, but it took a day or two. At the end of the race, we're walking through the tunnel to go to the parking lot. He leans over to me and he's like, I just want to say thank you for making the trip out because it's my special day and I know you didn't have to do that, but you were here for me. And I just like wrapped my hand around his waist and like leaned in and we gave each other a little side hug.
Damn.
NASCAR brings the family together.
You guys could have that written in the paper. I feel like if you guys reached out to Sonoma, like the Sonoma County, whatever their daily news is, you could totally get that in the paper. That whole thing.
We could.
How probably. NASCAR brought you guys together.
I mean, my dad was a mess, but Leela, I think we bonded through NASCAR because we're like the odd ones out.
Sure.
Me, my mom, and Leela. So we like stick together during NASCAR weekend. Like it's just naturally bonding. Yeah. But Leela and I got into a nasty fight. Like a nasty fight. And I am the type of person that just, when someone really like I was trying to be so loving, but I've realized when I try to be loving during fights, it's sometimes worse because I break down, like hyperventilating, sobbing. You know, I was just trying to be like, I love you, and I just, you know, I feel this way, and I'll always be there for you, and like I know you. And she's like, you don't know anything about me. Our whole relationship is over the phone. And then, you know, she says things that she doesn't mean, and she's a teenager, and it just cuts deep for me. Like, it cuts so deep, and I was like, Aaron, buy me a plane ticket home. I can't do more of this. But
I'm gonna be honest, there was a plane ticket for like $70, but I was like,
that's not that bad at all.
no, I know. I told you it was like 300. I lied because I knew that you guys could work it out.
We did work it out, and it was for the best. Though I probably wouldn't have been ill because that fight happened before the chicken nugget.
Oh, nah. It was the second you inhale from a scream cry. That space.
We were across the room though.
Mm.
It was.
Oh, that's
awful.
true. That was first day. I forgot about that.
It was
Yep.
really an awful fight.
Yeah, that's
I feel
bad.
like my siblings and I still have nasty fights because they're still younger.
Yes.
And I try to be mature, but I'm just brought back to this like little kid space when I'm home.
Yeah, of course.
And I get mean. I get nasty too. Like I get emotional. I get so emotional, and like there's always going to be comments, and I probably take them personally, of like me not being home.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Here's the thing is when it's said, especially by your siblings, they know. They know
it's going to hurt. And that's what my mom said. And actually my
Right.
mom and I had a really like clarifying conversation after. And she sat on the floor with me, and she never said this to me before, and she denied it after.
She denied it.
But she said, you know, I get so angry with my sisters too, because I feel like I pull a lot of the weight sometimes.
Sure.
And I am not shown any gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I know you pull all the weight, and you're not shown gratitude, and you feel underappreciated, and you're trying your best. And I was just like, I felt really connected to her in that moment because, you know, my mom, she totally takes the fall for a lot of like my family, and I do too. And that's something that we love doing because we're good at it. But
Also, half your cousins listen to this, so
which have? Yeah, but that's okay.
yeah, it's fine. No, yeah, you're good.
My mom does a lot for my grandparents.
Yeah.
She's also the only one without a job.
Yes.
So a lot falls on her. I'm not saying that my aunts don't pick up and do
No.
work.
Of course not. Of course not.
Yeah. I would say this to my cousins. Like,
yeah, of course.
I mean, maybe don't tell my aunties, but my mom loves my aunties. Like,
yeah.
if I ever said that she pulls the weight in
just
her
being
family,
a jerk over here.
she would snap at me, which she did later.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Anyway, you had that conversation.
I just and it's a thing of like underappreciated. Like everyone feels underappreciated in their family. Everyone.
Definitely.
Because people take it for granted. Like people, you know, you need something from family, you ask for it and you give it without a question. That's just family. And I think that my mom just never admits to feeling human. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's just a rare moment for me. And I've been a mess lately. I really have been like really a mess. And I think my mom has been there for me in a lovely way. And it does make me miss living at home because she just has so much strength for other people. And sometimes it's just nice to feel taken care of by her.
Yeah. Of course.
You know?
She's your mother.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, it was just like it was a silly weekend.
That's
And
great. How's
we all
Chrissy
made
Poo's face going on right now?
I don't know. I haven't even spoken to him. I've been sick, so I've only talked to my mom.
How's this? But when he dropped you off to the airport, how was he looking?
He didn't drop me off.
Well, how was he looking before then, that day?
I looked at him, I kissed his little head, and he had some blood coming out of his stitch.
How big, though? Like, how gashed?
I didn't want to see it.
You just didn't make eye
It was
contact
a
with
huge
him.
Band-Aid.
Got it.
Like, it covered most of his forehead.
Wow.
It was a huge Band-Aid in the center of his forehead.
Oh, he got the...
Yeah.
He got in the ring. Damn.
He got in the ring.
Mm.
But you know what? I don't blame him for it. I don't want to know all the details. I don't need to know all the details.
Nope.
I feel like he might be reciting it with Greta on the family trip over and over again, and we're all going to hear about it.
You know for a fact.
And that's the thing that bothers me.
Sure.
So I actually appreciated the way that he reacted about it because he didn't say anything.
He didn't
say anything.
He
He
did a
didn't try to
noble
defend
thing.
his point.
He made a no. Well, yeah, he knew.
He knew.
He knew.
And I think that if he was like super bravado about it, it would make me more nervous.
Yeah,
and it
of
would
course.
make me feel like, was that the true story? But I feel like it was probably.
Well, I don't know why. I don't think your dad would just.
No, he wouldn't.
No. Anyway.
He wouldn't, and he's also like older.
Yeah,
you know?
why would
like
he?
He wouldn't just punch a guy.
Yes.
You know. But it is crazy. Like my dad is the type of man that fully gets into fistfights.
Yeah.
Like that's just a crazy thing to hit someone, you know? And I think my brother wants to be that, and I think that he has, but I don't know if he's gotten into a full fight like I feel like my dad has gotten into serious fights. You know? And I don't want that for my brother. I don't want him to get into
Yeah, no.
I think that whole thing of like maybe it's my parents' generation or where they grew up or who they surround themselves with, that whole thing of like loving the fight, loving like watching guys fight. Like I'm so icked by that, and so like I hate it, and I think that's why I date you, because you never fight. You make me feel very safe without having to protect me like physically.
That's fair.
Or having to dominate the situation.
Yeah, you know me, Mr. Dominating the Sitch. Oh shit.
What?
Nothing. We're fine. We're good. The handle was off, so I mean we record audio there, but I sync it through there, so now we're good because I can sync it. I'm just gonna. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, I feel like I've been talking a lot. What happened with you? What's up with you?
I just hung out with your cousin all weekend.
That's true.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And any life updates that you want to give the people? Or
Any life updates? Yeah, I had like
news you want to talk about?
Did you see the Vision Pro?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
So, Apple, like virtual reality, like the headsets and stuff.
Yes.
Sorry, I know this is like nerd talk, but I actually think you'd be a little freaked out by this.
I don't know if I want to hear it, but continue.
So Apple released a headset that they made, which I feel like is kind of a big deal because like Facebook kind of dominates the market. Pico in China dominates the market. But Apple released theirs. Wow. And have you seen any photos of it?
No.
You've literally have not heard about this until just now.
No, I don't get tech.
But I feel like not just people in tech are talking about this.
I don't look at the.
Guess how much it costs?
$1 million?
You think they released a product for $1 million?
No.
You go to the Apple store and you pay. You put that on credit, cash.
I don't know.
Do that?
5,000.
Be as real as you think.
I'm really
5,000.
bad at estimating.
Okay. Well, yeah, you went over 3,500.
It's not that bad.
I feel like that's a lot.
But it's like a.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of money to me. Does that not look expensive to you?
Most headsets are like on 500 under.
Oh, because I think people who buy that don't need it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who buys that.
Like I feel like iPhones are like $1,000. That's so expensive to me.
Yeah, they are. I mean, some are cheaper.
You need an iPhone more than a headset.
Well, like laptops cost like $1,000, $2,000
or more.
Well, an Apple laptop, I mean,
depending
on the specs, but it's like really powerful. So how it works is like it's like 4K, and you can essentially be in whatever environment you want. But the freaky thing is, so the most like you've worn VR headsets, right? You've worn one before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's.
Oh yeah.
You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how that was? I'm forgetting which one that was. I think that was the Quest 2 or something. But this one, it's like snorkel goggles, so you can literally see through it. So you can control whether or not you're looking in your own reality, the virtual reality, or having it mixed.
Okay.
So like, we could be sitting here, and I could be like watching something on the TV. I could be watching something in my own space, and then you and me could also be having a conversation.
I don't understand.
So like, it's a VR headset.
Right.
So it can basically encompass only a part of the room if you want it to.
Okay.
Or it could be totally
The whole
immersive,
room.
and it's like in 4K resolution.
like
and it's
VR
on a really
headsets?
powerful chip.
Do you
No,
like
I think
that?
I don't think they're stupid. I just think there hasn't been anything good yet
Mm-hmm.
that's released that's been like,
It feels like it's a 3D video game.
yeah, exactly. It feels like, oh, okay, it's like an immersive video game, whatever, it's fine. This one actually looks a bit real, like pretty real. And everyone who's tried it this far is like, oh, this feels pretty real. And the one weird thing is you can, let's say like you have your Mac computer, and with the VR headset you look at it, it'll take that and it'll project that image, so you can use this as an external monitor for any of your Apple products wherever you look. So you can take it, and versus other headsets where you have like haptics, like you have a remote, you just use your fingertips. So it's literally scanning your fingers, and you can like just do this and that to
That's
scroll.
crazy.
It's really wild. And the other thing is, you can literally FaceTime people with it. And if you just think about that for a moment, how do the other people see you?
Yeah.
It uses AI to scan your face.
So you're AI.
So your face is AI.
I don't like that.
The image you're projecting. It doesn't look good. It looks actually pretty terrible. And I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know who would buy it because it is really expensive.
Rich people.
I would never buy this thing.
I think people who are into it would.
Yeah, it's Apple, I mean. But it was just crazy.
I feel like your dad would buy it.
Nah, not that much. That's really expensive.
Yeah.
Because also the battery pack is like, anyway, whatever.
I think people will invest because it's Apple. People will buy it because it's Apple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freaking. It's weird though. It's a big deal that they made one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to make one.
I think it's so funny that you are like this AI god now. And
What?
Well, like, you know a lot about AI, and I think it like really terrifies my family.
What do you mean? Do they talk about it?
No, they don't, but they just really hate AI.
Oh, what do they say about it?
They're just, I think, scared of it.
Mm.
They're the type of people who like don't want cell phones to be iPhones. You know what I mean?
That's valid. That's
and
fair.
I think I'm that type of person too.
I think everyone's like quality of life is better.
I do feel like I'm addicted to my phone.
Yes,
like
without
I'm
a doubt.
fully addicted to my phone. And I think like the higher the intelligence gets, the more it's like around us, the more we can't live without it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which it's very helpful in a lot of ways, but it's also like totally taking over our brains and our lives.
Yes.
You know?
I think.
And I also think like my family's not super technologically inclined, and neither am I. So there's a bit of like feeling like I'm left behind when that sort of stuff happens, and that's like a personal issue, you know.
I think that. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean, and that's why a lot of people are averse to AI.
Yeah.
In particular, cell phones.
It's scary.
Yes, it is scary. Because I think it's gonna replace most things at this point.
Yeah, and I think people are nervous, like
they predict in 3 years, it'll be. Have you heard of the Turing test?
No.
It was made by Alan Turing, who, you remember Imitation Game, that one with Benedict Cumberbatch?
No.
Did we not watch that?
No.
So essentially, Alan Turing invented the computer.
Uh-huh.
And he proposed a theory which was, you can submit a test that can essentially tell whether or not humans are capable of seeing whether or not a computer is a computer. Because of the output it gives, the way it responds to things, you can tell. Right? Like you can tell when
a computer is a computer.
A computer is a computer. So the Turing test is a way to distinguish computers from human beings. They predict that it's called AGI.
Right.
Which is, it's called AGI in relation to artificial intelligence. And they predict that within 3 years, human beings will not be able to tell when text is produced whether or not it's been made by a human or a computer.
I fully believe that.
For anything.
That's terrifying.
For any
I don't
text
like
output.
That.
3 years is kind of like the countdown. And I have a couple feelings about this. I feel a few things. The first thing is the inclination that I felt when I initially saw this, and I've been analyzing a lot of the tech and a lot of the tech firms that are doing it. A lot of it's bullshit right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say 95% of tech companies that invest in AI or that have AI business models, they're all BS just because there's a lot of money there. I think it's actually a really saturated market because everyone just uses OpenAI. Everyone just uses ChatGPT and makes an application that uses their interface. So it's actually not that interesting. What is interesting, though, is Facebook is kind of developing their own AI, and they have been for a very long time. All of these places have been. It's just getting popular now. It accelerated really recently. Sorry, interrupt me if this is boring and insert your commentary wherever needed.
You're good, babe.
But Facebook has been working on something called Llama, which is a different model. So ChatGPT is a generative pre-trained transformer, which basically means that it's trained on billions and billions of parameters of data. So it's storage spaces out the fucking maps are just filled with servers that have information that are training this thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But Facebook's model is a little bit different. So the Llama model can run on your personal computer. It can be trained on significantly less data and output really high quality things. So I think that that's actually a really significant thing, because what that means is people can take that code and make whatever they want with it. They can really, OpenAI is also, I don't know how I feel about them just because their name is OpenAI. They started as a nonprofit until they all became billionaires, and then they became a private organization. They don't share any of their code. So I don't know. Facebook I like because...
Don't touch your toes.
Sorry. Facebook I like because they share what they're working on, and their code got leaked. And they've been honest about it. So anyway, but they've created models now where it'll respond to any question you ask it. And if you think about that, that could get really bad really quick.
That's dirty.
It's dirty. It's nasty. So and
what's the craziest question you would ask something?
Well, let me finish
That's what
this
I
thought.
wanna know.
Let me finish this thought, and then we'll answer that, okay?
Okay.
So people are, and the scary thing about the Llama model is you can train it on significantly less data. The thing about ChatGPT is it's trained on billions of parameters. So it's just like a general intelligence thing that has a lot of knowledge, and it can answer things very broadly very well. The thing about the Llama models are that they're trained on less data. But if you think about that, you can make very specific AI use cases that are really knowledgeable in very specific things. ChatGPT, it's kind of fucked in a way because they
Which
need
I do like. I think we should do that.
They need a lot of processing power. It's just a lot of information for them to know. The thing about Llama models is you can make them for virtually no money because you can run them on your own computers.
Yes.
It's just about being able to give it that data, the data sets that you want. So that's interesting in a way, but it's also a little scary because there's going to be no way to really regulate it.
So
it's going to become like how Napster was, or like SoundCloud, where music was just
or like
the wild fucking west. The Purge.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
The Purge.
Like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
You can just do whatever you want. You can just kill people.
No.
Do you think I have
maybe.
a fever? Can you touch my hand?
Yes. Anyway, that being said,
that is very interesting, the half that I understood.
What half did you understand? Okay.
I understood that there's a company that's making AI, and there's one that's ChatGPT, but it can't be specified as the other one. Because the other one, it could be trained to do specific things.
Sure.
I promise you guys, I'm not dumb.
No, you're doing great. This is like fucking nerd talk.
What do you think our audience is?
I have no idea.
Because I think we have very, different... We're
very
I think different.
I think the first 75% of this podcast will be different than the 25% that remains.
Yeah, and I wonder who's tuning in for which part.
Well...
I think your part comment about it.
Your part was a little more interesting. But yeah, we want your analytics.
We want your analytics, and let me say something, okay? I really wasn't feeling well today, as we can all see. I think that this is more of an audio podcast than a visual, because I'm really not giving the visuals for you right now, and I'm really trying to be cute, but it's just not happening today.
Doing
It's
great.
not happening. You're going to have to look at Aaron for visual stimulation. Jesus Christ, you need to wear socks on this podcast, Aaron.
Sorry.
And anyway, the point is, we got a comment. Like, one of our first comments the other day, and it was like, I am a fan, keep this up.
And that's what made us do this today.
And honestly, like, you don't understand how much we appreciate that, and
Helps us out.
how I would give you a giant hug if I saw you. And thank you for tuning in and supporting us, because we're still too scared to advertise it to people. So thanks for making us feel like we're doing the right thing and like we're going in the right direction. It's always nice to have a pat on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And this does feel like a safe space. Also, it's not a very large space, but I do love coming on here every week and talking to you guys about my life problems. And so that comment really meant a lot to us. And
yeah, we appreciate it.
we really, really appreciate it. And we want to give you a lollipop. I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry.
Anyway.
I feel like you get a lollipop when you're good at the doctors.
Sure, yes.
And I really need to go to the doctors.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, what would you ask ChatGPT? Or if you had an AI, you could ask it anything, something nasty, something dirty. What would you ask? If you could ask any question and it would give you an answer.
So if it was any question, like, I don't know if it knows all this information. Like, I would definitely ask questions that you need to spy on people to do. You know what I mean? Like I would ask questions that I don't think it could answer.
Like what?
Like, I don't know.
They should
like,
honestly call you up to test this.
Is Ben Affleck and J-Lo's relationship real? Like, I would want to know. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Like they would need, like you would need inside information.
I would need inside information. Or like.
Probably doesn't know that.
No, it doesn't know that. I would ask it like sex advice.
That it could tell you.
I don't think it could.
Yes, it could.
I don't think it knows the human body, the woman body.
I think it.
I don't think it does.
It could watch all the pornography in the world.
But pornography.
And read all the documentation about
pornography
sex.
doesn't teach you anything.
I'm going to load. I think ChatGPT could tell us that right now.
I don't want to ask questions on the internet.
Okay.
I actually don't even want to ask it any sex questions.
Oh.
I was just watching Call Her Daddy today and I was feeling naughty.
Nasty.
I really love that podcast. That's what I kind of want.
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
I really want to be on that podcast one day.
Or maybe they'll be on our podcast.
There's only they split up.
Oh, right.
There was a falling out. And if that happens between us, like,
that'd be a big problem.
I actually don't think it would be.
You don't?
No, because I think that I think that we attract such vast fan bases that I think we might even do better on our own.
On our own. Because we could pivot specifically.
Yeah, we can be specific. We're so broad right now that it's like challenging for people to watch. And maybe that's the draw of us. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, you guys.
Potentially. And if you think AI will take over this podcast.
It won't. That's ridiculous. So. I'm sorry. Fuck AI.
So
I think I'm done with it. I'm over it.
Okay. So this is where I think it's
up,
good.
Aaron.
Let me tell you where I think it's good. And then we're going to wrap this in 1 minute. So stick around.
I need you to touch my head.
Stick around for my take on this. I think anything that could be an automated task will be finished for. So that means anything related to writing documentation, anything related to autonomous tasks.
Which I'm fine with.
I think that's great.
You think it's going to pivot more toward creativity?
I don't think human beings are going to really give a shit about it. Like, think about anything creative. And then, like, if, like, pianos at the mall that can play like, a computer can play a piano better than anyone on the planet. No one would care.
That's true.
No one would watch that.
True.
So, there's that aspect. So, I think it
I love watching people.
I actually think all creative industries will probably be okay, just because human beings want to watch human beings. Other industries, healthcare, all that. And if healthcare is automated, if healthcare is AI, I'm totally fine with that. That would be better. That'd be way better.
That would be way better, honestly.
If you could just ask it, hey, give me a diet plan, give me etc. Tell me what's wrong with me.
Because I don't trust the healthcare system.
It would just be objective and it would tell you the truth.
I do think I think there's something wrong with me.
You could ask it.
Yeah, I should probably ask it. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should use it to my benefit and create a little mini-me.
Yeah. We could make... Okay, goal for the next year, we're going to make an AI that is a mini Sophia. And we're going to make it have your voice.
For the next year?
This is going to be one of my side projects. I'm going to evil
Aaron,
genius this one.
you can't afford to have any more side projects.
I'm going to
I don't know how to
Knievel
fucking
this.
tell you this.
I'm going to make a mini Sophia that has your voice and that has your personality.
But she's evil.
No, she's just mini you. I didn't like that. But maybe she'll become evil.
Maybe she's like a sex robot. Boom boom.
Why do you say that?
Boom boom.
People would probably try. That's 90% of what AI and VR is.
But she'd be so tiny. She need to be raised in a home. She can be raised before she has sex.
Is she 0 or is she just like physically small? I feel like she's mini because she's in a computer.
No, she's small. She's not in a computer. She walks.
She's AI though.
What?
She'll be in the. You'll be in the computer. I don't want that. Then. We're gonna upload you in the computer.
No.
Anyway, side project, and then we'll have her on the podcast.
See, I feel like I'm like aiming for like call her daddy type podcast, and Aaron's aiming for like streaming.
Oh, you think?
What is that when people like stream?
Twitch.
Nah. You talk like a Twitcher.
Oh, that makes me sad.
No, in a good way.
That's never a thing. That's never been said before.
No, but
by
you're like
anybody.
You're very smart. Like I feel like you have like a different type of. Ew, Aaron. You have a different type of draw. Like you have like a sexy robot man draw to you.
What?
That I'm like. You're annoyed by me.
No, I appreciate that.
We have no, but you like can talk about like I feel like I talk about the tea 24/7, but you know what? This is so boring.
Well, I feel like we need that balance though.
We do.
This is good. This is a producer session. We're just chatting. We're reviewing.
The making of big little fuck.
I think I could have done less on the tech talk. I think that was maybe a little boring.
No, it wasn't. And you know what? Like our listeners, I think they're more inclined to tech talk.
Yeah.
I do.
To what? To TikTok?
To tech talk.
Oh, tech talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know what you like, boys. I'm not okay. I'm not mentally stable right now. I need to like sit in an ice bath. Holy shit. I'm burning up, Aaron.
Let me feel. All right. Oh, yeah, you're warm. Well, we got to get out of here and heat up some wonton soup and some
I don't even know if
sushi.
I want that anymore.
Do you want the sushi?
I'm sorry I'm being annoying. I love you guys. I really love you.
It's going to be great.
I wish you were all here. Oh. No, I don't. I'm so sick. Get away from me. I hope you're staying hot out there, but not in the physical sense. Not in the...
Okay.
Fuck. I'm over. I'm done.
Have a great time, you guys. Enjoy. We're going to have some sushi. All right. This is done. Goodbye.
Don't feel my head. I'm genuinely not okay. I think I have a fever. Stop! I don't think I was that interesting today.
You were great. That was very interesting.